Sooner Scoop HD.
What were your overall takeaways after reviewing it?
Just a lot to clean up. Feel like we did a good job of flushing it and making sure we make changes and the necessary changes on everyone's part. And to be quite honest, I think there's just so much to learn from, so much to grow from, and that's the beauty of it too. Is they're fixable and things that we can definitely get better at.
How stoked are you to go on the road and play in this environment, man?
Super excited. Just a great environment. I think our first away game, which will be fun, traveling with the guys, but most importantly, just another opportunity to step on that field. So never taking that for granted, and just dialing in the preparation and being as best as we can.
I know you had some great road games at UCF. Is this the greatest? I mean, is this going to be the
this
coolest
is
one?
I think this one's up here. Like I said, it's going to be a fun one. I'm pretty aware of the rivalry back in the day and even now. So I'm just quite honest. I'm super excited.
How much of the stuff when you got sacked or get pressures on you just to get rid of the ball simply?
No, for sure. That's a big part on my end. Taking care of the football, getting us back to either zero or away from a negative, and throwing the ball away when things aren't there or when I'm outside the pocket. Trying not to lose any yards, especially on first and second down, and then if we're in field goal range. But just got to be better at that, and I'm definitely super critical of my play and try to be better in every aspect. So.
Is that stuff that just comes in time too? I mean, people forget that it is the second game, just getting back into the rhythm of it.
I think it's something you work on, or you don't necessarily work on, but you got to be, ready and prepared to do so, and it's an immediate reaction. So training yourself to be really good at that is difficult because you necessarily don't practice the throwaway, but just finding your check downs and likewise when you're outside the pocket.
I know my bad ass didn't do this, so I'm just asking.
What was the key to get you guys going in the second half the other night? Just kind of.
I think the biggest thing is the momentum, on the front end. That 2-minute drive before, setting the tone there. I think that gave us some momentum, and then going in the second half, we really knew we had to, set the tone. And scoring points, right when we get the ball. So just had a good adjustment, felt really good about it, and the guys did really good. So.
How big is it for the offense and just as a whole to get a guy like Wanya back this week?
Huge. Just another guy on to help those guys out on the line, and we really got a good 8 or 9 guys who could really come in and play. So that helps everyone. Especially on the O-line, playing long drives or. As fast as we go, I know it can kind of get tiring on their end.
Jeff said he feels like the offense is kind of in really a pretty good spot comparatively to his previous stops. You kind of taking stock of, I know you were just a freshman in 2019, but taking stock of how far along you guys are offensively compared to then?
I think the biggest thing really is just how we attacked it in January and the preparation, even going into fall camp or that summer we had. Never had a summer like that. Partially because I knew, we're going to have a summer like that to do what we wanted to do and put in everything we wanted to put in. So I'm proud of the way we prepared and the summer we had because, it's coming into fruition and there's so many things we can fix. And I think that's the exciting part for us.
Do you ever have to talk to Jalil and say, kind of be patient, the ball is going to find you at some point?
I think, getting him going and, sometimes it's just not getting, through the progression to him. But most importantly, sometimes with how fast we move, it's, just sometimes either a running back night, a slot night, outside night. Like you saw with Marvin, he could have 2 touchdowns or it could be a tight end kind of night, and B-Will has himself 2 touchdowns. So it really is, taking what they give us, but most importantly, just making sure everyone's ready when their time is, and their opportunity is going to come because you got to take advantage of it, and you never know when the opportunity will come.
What's your thoughts on the Nebraska defense?
I think they're very talented. Obviously, got some big dudes on the D-line, and they're really talented up front. And I think their linebackers play really well. So it'll be a good, test for us. And, they're going to come, super prepared to play and ready to play with, all that's going on down there. But, we're going to get their best. And, we better prepare to, give our best just because, it's going to be a good game. And that's why you play the game is go out there and, come out who's a winner, who's a loser. So
Kind of seems like that's the rallying cry around here, that no matter where you guys go as Oklahoma, you're going to get everybody's best shot.
exactly. And I think that's the beauty of it too is, that's what you want as competitors. You want the best. You want to play in big-time environments. You want to play in, atmospheres that are the best in college football. And I think that's not only why a lot of guys come here, but a lot of guys are competitors and want to compete at that level. So, we're excited and can't wait to get it going.
The tempo, does that make it any easier, harder to deal with the road, atmosphere, road noise, stuff like that?
Not necessarily. I think, like I said, just the way we prepare and the way we practice, kind of gets us, ready for it. As fast as we play, the noise, with the noise at practice. But it's difficult to replicate a game atmosphere, but I think we do, a really good job at trying to get it as close as we could.
Well, along those lines, do you kind of, as the quarterback on your center, do you have to kind of emphasize really communicating with everybody else in a road environment like that to get the tempo you're looking for?
For sure. I think when you get big chunk plays, it's a little easier because you're running down with the guys. You can kind of communicate with the O-linemen and help them out on that end. But I think it's more difficult on third downs. Obviously, the fans get excited or crucial situations. But for the most part, we just got to be even more dialed in, even more focused on communicating, nonverbal communication, and likewise just executing our job the best.
You talk about big-time environments. Just your impression of your first two performances or your first two experiences in front of this crowd.
Amazing. I never fully, soak it in when I'm in the moment, just because I'm so focused on, the game. But when I look back and watch the rerun or I'm watching, the game on tape, it's just super cool to, see what, OU's able to put on for us, but likewise for the fans. And, the lights was something I had no clue was going to happen, but just little things like that, I really never take for granted. And, man, I'm so grateful, God's continued to give me an opportunity to play every single practice, every single game. And I just got an attitude of gratitude for that. So
I know you're on offense, but, through these first two games, the defense hasn't given up many points. Just from your perspective, what's it been like watching the defense these first two games?
It's been a blessing for sure. They've been playing their butt off, and, they really are, a suffocating defense and make you earn every yard. And, I've experienced it just going through spring ball and fall camp against them, but, kind of just, seeing it against someone else. I think that's the fun about, putting all the work in is getting to do it against someone else and, kind of getting to apply to all the things you learn and situations you put yourself in.
I'm curious, changed so much, obviously, Nebraska being a small one. How much has Brent touched on that with you all this week, if at all?
Coach BV really focuses on us and making sure we're dialed in to, our cues and things we do. And not necessarily, down in the rivalry, but most importantly, just putting our focus on us and bring the best prepared as we can. And I think when you keep that, the main focus, the rest will take care of itself. But, I know a lot of the teammates are aware of it, and, a lot of the guys played Nebraska last year. So naturally, as competitors, there's a little more edge and a little more fun to it. But, that's what college football is all about, and that's why people love it is the rivalries, the great atmospheres, and the love for their university. So.
Do you remember your first rivalry game at UCF or what it was like experiencing it?
I do. Rivalry games are just fun. It's usually at the end of the season, but, luckily here at OU we get multiple rivalries, so that's, a lot of fun. But honestly, just the atmosphere. I think the hype leading up to it and naturally the rivalry gives a little more spark to the game, but it's fun, and I think that's what college football is all about. So.
You ever been to Nebraska?
Never been.
Have you ever even thought of being in Nebraska?
Wouldn't necessarily vacation there, but yeah, I've never thought of it until, now. So.
Sooner Scoop HD.